have voters faced a clearer choice between two parties, two visions, two philosophies, or two agendas. This election will decide whether we save the American dream or whether we allow a socialist agenda to demolish our cherished destiny. It will decide whether we rapidly create millions of high-paying jobs or whether we crush our industries and send millions of these jobs overseas, as has foolishly been done for many decades. Your vote will decide whether we protect law-abiding Americans or whether we give free rein to violent anarchists, and agitators, and criminals who threaten our citizens. And this election will decide whether we will defend the American way of life or whether we will allow a radical movement to completely dismantle and destroy it. That won't happen. At the Democrat National Convention, Joe Biden and his party repeatedly assailed America as a land of racial, economic, and social injustice. So tonight I ask you a simple question. How can the Democrat Party ask to lead our country when it spends so much time tearing down our country? They do not see America as the most free, just, and exceptional nation on earth. Instead, they see a wicked nation that must be punished for its sins. And we will also provide tax credits to bring jobs out of China back to America, and we will impose tariffs on any company that leaves America to produce jobs overseas. We will make sure our companies and jobs stay in our country, as I've already been doing for quite some time, if you've noticed. Joe Biden's agenda is
Trump on top of his
made
game.
in China. My agenda is made in the USA. In recent months, our nation and the entire planet has been struck by a new and powerful, invisible enemy. Like those brave Americans before us, we are meeting this challenge.
Hey, Marcus Conte reporting. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You got to stand with the Patriots, man. I got my hat on, man. You've got to stand with the Patriots on this one. I flip. You could say I flip-flop. I flip-flop from side to side. No. I flip to the truth. When Antifa was bombing the banks, attacking the banks, I stood with them. I stood with them when they were on the right side of history, when they were shaking, rattling the boat, they were shaking the boat up and shaking out the dead air, right? I stood with the rebels, but now the rebels are getting bitter and they're smashing people's windows again, innocent people that maybe, I don't know, a guy owns a car dealership or parked his car in the wrong place and you start bashing his windows and you want to take guns away. You want to walk up to law-abiding citizens and with their constitutional right to bear arms, and you want to take their gun away, and you expect them to, and then you want to take the gun away and you want to use it on them, and you expect them to not retaliate. Well, that's not. I think what was interesting, the woman that the two lawyers that were wielding guns at the Black Lives Matter people in Missouri. The woman lawyer that was wielding the pistols said, not only did they want to tell us who could have a gun, but then what you're supposed to do with the gun. You can't point it. You could have a gun, but you can't point it. You can't wear it. You can't use it. You can't have it loaded. And then they want to tell you what you can do with the gun. Right to bear arms is in the Constitution. So I think when she said that, I think that was very revealing. I think that I don't know what I'm trying to say with that. But anyway, so anyway, Marcus Conte reporting. Trump gave a bomb speech last night. Here's the highlights. A lot of platitudes. I know. But what says America better than 400 American flags behind you and a crowd cheering? Don't seem to be any social distancing
We are
going on.
delivering life-saving therapies and the
There's the crowd scene. Oh, look at the crowd, right? Oh, shit. Ooh, ah, ee, ah. Right? Fucking crowd on the White House steps. Smart. Smart for Trump to have done that. We'll come back to that. So this is the real story right here, Mr. Rittenhouse. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Sorry for the delay today. I was in rural America yesterday. By the way, I was traveling rural America, and I don't make videos because I'm deep into something right now. I'm doing something. I'm exploring the possibilities of getting the fuck out of here. But anyway, I was in rural America today. That's why I'm a little late start. A lot of driving, a lot of jumping in and out of a car all day yesterday. So, but we're here. Good morning. Vinny DiMartini on the chat. What's up, Pat Hacker? What's up, Pat Hacker? Yeah, I mean, really, it's a no-brainer on this one. I mean, this is the left in terms of voting. The left, I won't vote because I think it's a fix. I mean, it would just be fun. I think it'll be fun to walk into the polling booth. I'm not going to mail any shit in. I want to walk into the polling booth, and I want to take my pen, and I want to put a big check next to Trump's name and feed it into the machine. I want to take a picture of myself doing it, make a video of me. I know that's illegal, but it'll be for just me, right? I'll have the video of myself picking the Trump. Well, I'll wear the Trump hat. I'll go in with the Trump hat on, and I'll check off Trump's name, and I'll put it into the black box, and then I could say I voted for Trump, and people can hate me forever for voting for Trump, because if the decision is Trump, and and all he stands for, the center of America, the heart. Trump is the soul of America, really, as opposed to a senile old man that will roll over for a belly rub from the corporations and the lunatic left. I think the decision for me is rather simple. So you are here. This is you. This is not Kyle Rittenhouse. This is you. This is us. This is where we are right now. We're under fire. We're under siege. Right? Speak out in favor of your country, right? And you get piled on sentences. This kid's now facing. See, they're saying the mainstream media is saying man shoots two Antifa, man shoots two Black Lives Matter at protest. And then they say, "Oh, well, he's a juvenile." Now he's a juvenile, and so they're backpedaling quite a bit on what they're going to charge him with, because they're trying to see, just throw everything at him, throw the whole bucket of shit at him, and see what sticks. Right? So we'll look at. There's more video out. I've tried to look at what I've seen so far. It's not conclusive. The video is not conclusive. Did he shoot the first guy in the head? Does he admit to shooting the first guy in the head? Nobody sees him shoot the first guy in the head. But the second part, the self-defense part, is very interesting. And there's a reporter that was on the ground that says that Kyle was essentially a marked man. Right? The reporter defines it as all of the radicals, all of the rebels, right, for lack of a better term, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, turned to Kyle and chased him down as if a lot of people, like a horde, a gang of people, were ready to stomp this kid because they thought he was the shooter. Now, again, there's no video evidence to suggest that he was, that I've seen anyway. So the idea that he was acting in self-defense is rather clear. He's being chased by a mob with guns. A mob with guns chasing him, screaming, "Come here," ready to kill him, right? And then he falls down. He goes to the ground, and right when they're about to stomp him, he shoots back. So that is the pretty much the story. So, but before we do any of that deep dive, this is my website, marksconte.com. Kindly go to as videos get knocked down, just go here, right? This fine video, the 1 minute video. For some reason, if you play it alone, YouTube will knock it down. But there it is, and all the other videos that get knocked down, all the psychopaths online, the fucking crazy loopers, larpers, everything that gets knocked down here goes over there, and kindly become a patron. Really, really, really. I might have to do a GoFundMe page just to get the hell out of New York because I don't feel well. I don't feel that warm, cozy feeling anymore in New York, guys. So it's time for me to skedaddle, skedaddle. It's showing their true colors, New York. Showing their true colors, shining through. New York is going off. It's going off, man. So tip jar through PayPal or become a ongoing Patreon. It doesn't mean I'm leaving. Don't get your hopes up, right? That I'm leaving because I'm not going anywhere, man. I'm staying here forever. I'll be rather close to New York City, if need be. If I need to come here, whatever, come to New York, right? Well, fuck, I only photo on the street, once a week anyway. So what's the big deal? Right? I can drive once a week, and if it's worth it, just to test check the temperature, take the temperature of New York City, and do a walkthrough, once in a while, every week, every other week, and shit like that, man. So thank you all for joining me. All right, so let's dive in. So let's start here with Rand Paul, RNC convention last night. Rand Paul gets ransacked by Black Lives Matter Antifa motherfuckers when he walks out the door. Let's watch this video. It's pretty good. So Rand Paul exiting the RNC convention. Black Lives Matter protests swarm him. Let me read first. Yeah, so Rand Paul was confronted by a rowdy group of Black Lives Matter protesters in Washington, D.C. early Friday after leaving the White House. It was by the White House for the Republican National Convention. Paul was walking to the Hotel Washington with his wife when a crowd descended upon him while shouting, "Say her name, Breonna Taylor." Right? They love this fucking Breonna Taylor, right? Say her name, go fucking name. These people are like religious kooks. In one of the videos, a protester pushes a Metropolitan D.C. police officer who trips and brushes into Paul. Yeah, you see that in the video. It's not much. The officer briefly stumbles and regains his footage. A woman can be heard shouting at Paul, "Her name was Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor." Just got attacked by an angry mob of over 100. 1 block away from the White House, Paul tweets. Thank you, D.C. Police Department, for literally saving our lives from a crazed mob. The senator and his wife did not appear to be injured. So here's the video. Right?
We have Rand Paul here in downtown Washington, D.C., just getting out of the Republican event at the White House with Trump accepting the nomination for the Republican Party for the 2020 election. He is surrounded by a crowd of protesters here, as well as this line of Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police. Move back! Move back!
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's Rand Paul hiding like a little girl behind. he was. I'm sorry. I got hit with a commercial there. He's literally hiding behind the cops like a fucking using them like a shield, man. That shit is crazy, right? I guess we can't watch it again. So Rand Paul, what else we got? This is more of what was going on outside of the White House last night. Rowdy crowd. Oh, I wanted to say I was distracted by the chat for a second, but I wanted to say that I felt like the police. That's Rand Paul. That's a sitting U.S. senator, right? Isn't he senator? He's Senate or Congress, I forget. But Rand Paul is an important guy in politics, right? Why do you let these motherfuckers get so close to him, right? You should have been. That's where the pepper spray should be used, right? They're sitting there with aluminum bats. That's their weapon of choice, by the way. Aluminum bats. They got the like the not the wood bat, but the aluminum bat, right? Fucking breaking car windows with aluminum bats. Skateboards, which I've said all along are weapons. The bike is a weapon. Right? They're loaded with weapons, right? And some of them are armed. Maybe not in D.C., but I felt like the police let the radicals get a little too close to Rand Paul. But here's more. Steve Zoroff says that Rand Paul drafted the Breonna Taylor laws. I don't know what that means, but I hear you. Breonna Taylor law? What is that? Breonna. Hey, listen, man. Breonna Taylor law? What is the fucking Breonna Taylor law? Breonna Taylor law. All right. Taylor death led to the blah, 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 blah. What does it mean? Breonna Taylor law will ban no-knock warrants. Okay, so he was on the side. So what you're saying is that Rand Paul was on the side of Breonna Taylor, and these idiots are attacking him. Right? Will ban no-knock warrants. Right? So it seems like he's moving. It seems like Rand Paul was on the side of the Breonna Taylor debacle. Right? So, and now they attacked him. It's strange, right? They don't know what they want. Okay, to stop no-knock warrants. I get it, Steve. I mean, I would argue that that's a good thing, right? In my view, that's a good thing to stop no-knock warrants. Yeah, of course. Why not? What the fuck gives you the permission to barge into my house, right? Well, you got to show me the warrant. What's the warrant, right? You got baby Trump there. So anyway, that's just more of what's going on in D.C. This is a sad story right here. Look at this. What did I do wrong? 74-year-old man arrested after allegedly bringing gun to Ken0sha demo. Oh, so it's open carry. He's a 74-year-old man. He's got a gun in his car. So what's the problem? He says, why? You're under arrest. Come here. I got a gun in my car. You want to see it? What are you doing? Come here. I want to go and see those people. I want to go see those people. What? What? What the fuck?
What am I doing wrong?
Putting him under arrest. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? You're going to be arrested. I'm a citizen of the United States.
Well, I was too.
He tells him he was a veteran. Did nothing wrong. That's why you are here. This is you right here. This is you right here. Right? Defending yourself. You got to defend yourself. So I just want to play the 1-minute video with commentary so that everybody can see it. This is the self-defense part of it. I'm sure everybody's seen it 100 times from 3 different angles. It was well photographed. The self-defense part of it. What we don't have is, we only have testimony, and I'm going to play the testimony. Crystal Ball interviewed a Hill reporter, a Hill video guy. The video guy didn't even get the video. That's how fast it happened, the first part of it. But he did see it, and he got to interview Kyle Rittenhouse minutes before the first shooting. So we'll watch all that stuff. But let's watch the main. This is the main video. Here we see him running. He's looking over his back. Boom, gets punched in the head. Gets attacked from behind, getting attacked from behind. Attacked to the point of now he's down. He raises his gun. We see the whole thing. Boom. Oh, yeah, fuck you. He shoots that one. He shoots the kid, blows his arm off. All right, so that's 2 more down, right? He takes down 2. He keeps walking. Oh, yeah, you hear shots still firing out. He walks. He's walking towards the police. Hands up. He's walking towards the police. Hands up. Right there. Here you see him. Right? I didn't do anything wrong. I'm defending myself. I'm running to safety. I am running to safety. Right? So we all saw it. Right. And a lot of people have said if he wasn't armed, the rifle saved his life. I couldn't agree more. The rifle, if he wasn't, look, you're about to get stomped. Do you know anything about getting jumped? Do you know what that feels like? You have no chance. Right here, they were going to if he didn't have the gun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people were ready to stomp this kid. They were going to stomp him, pound him, maybe take the gun and turn it on him. Right? He was fighting for his life. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Whether he was supposed to be there because he's from Illinois, you could argue that he's too young. Right? Those are the trumped up charges. Those are the fake charges that they pile on. And we'll look at that. The Post does a good job. So that's the story, man. Right? You are definitely here. So here's the story. Kyle Rittenhouse hit with slew of charges in shooting deaths of 2 protesters. Right? Slew of charges. Right? It's a young kid, man. Look at him. He's a young kid. He's got fucking cool glasses, man. Fucking glasses. Glasses rock, man. That kid rocks. All he needs is a baseball cap and a wig. So, teen vigilant who allegedly gunned down 2 Black Lives Matter protesters in Ken0sha was hit with a slew of charges on Thursday. Let's look at these charges and see what's going on. And then we'll look at the other videos. A lot of good video. Ken0sha County prosecutors. What I'm trying to say is the second part of the defense, his defense, is very clear. The first part of it, who started it, right? By the gas station. Right? Shots fire out. There's no solid video. There's a lot of speculation, but no solid video that I have seen that says Kyle shot the guy in the head. Right? It could have been one of his buddies, but what is certain is that the mob, according to the reporter on the ground there, the mob turned to Kyle as the shooter. Right? We don't know for sure if he is the shooter, and I don't know if he said he was or whatever, but we'll find out. So Ken0sha County prosecutors charged Kyle Rittenhouse, 17, with one count each of first-degree intentional homicide. That's not what it is. That's not what it is. It's manslaughter. That's what it is. It's second-degree manslaughter. It's not fucking intentional. Means, first-degree murder means you set out to go kill somebody. It's like, I'm going to kill this guy, and you go to his house and you pull a gun out and you kill him. That's not what this is at all. It's not intentional homicide. Right? First-degree reckless homicide. It's not. When it's first-degree, you're saying that you planned it. One count of attempted first-degree initial homicide. That's probably for the guy who blew his arm off. Court records show. He was also charged. That's 3 right there. Also charged with 2 counts of reckless endangerment and with possession of a dangerous weapon as a minor. See, but they were trying to, you see what happened? Or they were trying to make it stick that he was an adult and now he's a minor. Oh, now he's a minor. Right? This kid needs a good lawyer, man. He needs the media and he needs legal advice. He needs good legal representation to get the fuck out of this. Right? He was also charged with, all right, so the teenager from nearby Anticoke, Illinois, Illinois, was arrested Wednesday in connection with a shooting that led to the death of 26-year-old Anthony Huber and Joseph Rosenbaum. Joseph Rosenbaum, a Jew, 36, a dad to a young daughter. Oh, you have to mention that he's a dad to a young daughter? So why is he out in the street gangbanging a 17-year-old white kid? Why is the 36-year-old Jew out on the street gangbanging a 17-year-old kid. Why? Oh, yeah, he's got a daughter. That's why. The lone shooting victim to survive the bloodbath has been identified as George Grosskreutz. George Grosskreutz, probably another Jew. 26, a volunteer. There's nothing wrong being a Jew. It's just funny that there's a pair of Jews at the scene. Both took bullets. Right. At 26, a volunteer medic for he's a Black Lives Matter medic. From protests in Milwaukee over the summer. Gunfire erupted Tuesday during the Jacob Blake police shooting. Rittenhouse is being held at Lake County Juvenile Detention Facility. So he's at a juvenile facility. He is due to appear in court on Friday morning. That is today, Friday morning, to face extradition to Ken0sha. So that'll be the whole hearing on a Friday. It's an extradition hearing. He'll show up, they'll extradite him, and Illinois will be there to receive him. He'll get in a car, he'll drive 12 miles to Illinois, Anticoke, and that's where he'll be tried. The trial will be in Illinois. But you see the trumped-up charges. This is piling on. They're piling shit on, right? Calling it first-degree murder when it's clearly at least the second part of his defense. Possession of a weapon as a minor. You could be 17. You could join the army and go fight for your country, but you can't defend yourself in 12 miles away from your home. So here's more video. This is I don't know what this is. So, well, let's watch. So somebody narrated here. Somebody's narrating for us. Overnight in Ken0sha, 2 people were killed and another seriously wounded after the confrontation between armed patriots and violent Black Lives Matter protesters spilled over into the street. All right. One other thing to clarify, right? There's a lot of people saying that, or initially earlier yesterday, people were saying that Kyle Rittenhouse, before we even knew his name, was in fact a Black Lives Matter radical, that he was on their side, and then he flipped on them. And that's why they tried to take the gun out of his hand. There's no evidence to support that theory. None whatsoever. The evidence supports everything he said prior to was that he was part of a militia that came over from Illinois, 12 miles away from where he was, over the state line, to help with law and order, to help stabilize the radical left from breaking shit, from setting shit on fire. That's conclusive. That's the evidence suggests that's who he was. He was not some Black Lives lunatic, Black Lives Matter Antifa guy who lost his mind and they tried to take the gun away from him. That is not factually. There's no evidence. That's not supported by the evidence. So let's watch. So more. This is good stuff. Kyle Rittenhouse was the man accused by the media of going on a hate-filled shooting spree within 24 hours. He will be called an alt-right extremist, a white nationalist, and will be portrayed. That's a lot of opinion, but let's just see what he said. Let's see what happened. It's a good video. I watched it. Let's see some good stuff. He is 100% innocent, and I can prove it. Okay, let's prove it. Prove it to me. So, as is typical of Black Lives Matter Antifa, there's a lot of noise, a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling, and none of it means anything. It's just freedom of speech. Say whatever you want. It's when you start putting your hands on people and you start pointing guns at people. And there's always mentally ill people on the side of Black Lives Matter. They give them a sanctuary, right? There's crazy, disgusting, like fucking women that get in your face and want to dance in front of you, and they're fucking nuts. Well, here's a crazy guy, right? Here's a crazy guy saying, "Shoot me." See this? I believe this guy with the red shirt is the guy who caught the bullet in his head. But you see right here, this guy right here, the black dude with the gloves on, was trying to have a conversation, and this idiot jumps in between it, right? He says, "Shoot me, motherfucker! Shoot me, nigga!" And right there, you see that. Well, what is he? What is he out for? Some recreational skateboarding? No, that's a fucking weapon. He's going to use it to block a punch. He's going to swing it at your head. He's going to use it as a way to get away. I mean, anything could be a fucking weapon, right? If you know how to use it. I mean, a little piece of stick could be used as a weapon if you stick it in somebody's eyeball, right? But really, the point is, Bill West can attribute to that I was the first one to call that based on what I saw, the way they were in the videos, the way they were using the skateboards as defensive, right? Because if you hold the wheels, if you hold the trucks, and you use the wood to block, you can block a cop from swinging at you. You're not going to block a bullet, but you can use it to push somebody. So definitely a weapon. All right. Weapon in hand, right there. There's the weapon. One guy's got a gun. He's got his skateboard ready to clunk you on the head with it.
Are you with the group? We just
Just keep your. I think what's interesting is since we know who the guy who took the bullet in the head is the crazy guy with the red shirt. Just keep an eye on him. He's still right there.
Shoot me, nigga! Shoot me, nigga!
So he asks to be shot. Okay. All right, we might be able to help you with that.
Bust on me, nigga, for real!
So Kyle is seen in the green shirt as Black Lives Matter agitators escalate the situation, knowing the armed militia doesn't have the trained patience of regular law enforcement. There's some truth to that. Right? They're not as disciplined as the cops. There's a lot of opinion, but thank you, whoever you are. Alpha 17 Warrior. Don't be a dick in the chat. Let's be civilized. So let's watch a little peaceful protest. Black Lives Matter claiming peaceful protest. Oh yeah, that's peaceful. It looks peaceful to me. And that's the other weapon of choice. A aluminum bat. You hear the clink, clank, clank. That's an aluminum bat. It's a softball bat. It's not soft. It's for softball, the bigger ball. So here they are breaking shit. The car lot was where the shooting started. This kid's commentary is pretty good. What's uncertain is the proximity to the initial encounter at the gas station, but it can be safely assumed they are within a block of one another, given how quickly one scene spilled into the other. All right, I would agree with that. So they're by the gas station where the armed patriots are gathering. Great. What else? The rabid bold man shouting at the armed militia earlier can be seen chasing after Kyle. As he responds to the sound of the breaking glass. With his head covered in his shirt, he stalks and chases him, attempting to take him down and steal his weapon. He then finally gets his wish. I don't see that in the video, but let's find out. I didn't see that in the video. Let's go. Boom. See, it's a distant video. This is very important, right? We got some video evidence, but it's you can't really make out what the hell's going on. Maybe we should slow it down. Let's slow it down a little bit. Let's slow it down. I slowed it down a little bit. As much as BitChute will let me. Okay, so here we are. We're in a gas station. One shot. I don't know where the shot came from. I didn't see any fucking dust or anything. This kid's running away. It's impossible to tell what's going on through this video. Sorry, man. This is not evidence. You can count the shots. That's a lot of shots. That's 3 right there. That's 5 total. 6. Here comes Kyle right here. You see him come out from behind the car, and the guy's already shot in the head. So you don't see the shooting. A lot of shots fired. Nobody knows. He's a medic. He's standing over the guy. Even if he shot him, he's still going to help him. Because, why? Because he was being attacked. That's not the behavior of a murderer. That's not the behavior of an assassin. He's helping, he's calling, he's helping. And then the mob turns on him. Because they come running over. That's what's clear. See, the mob starts turning on him because he's running. See what happened? He's running away. And they're saying, so the people, what's clear in the video is that these people see a dead friend on the ground, and they saw Kyle run away.
Give me a fucking light!
Put pressure on him! Put fucking pressure on him!
Where?
So is that the guy? Is that the same creep? Are we confirmed? I guess he's got a shirt over his mouth, right? That's him? That's the guy says, "Shoot me, nigga! Shoot me, nigga!"
Where, dude? Where? Where's the hole?
Where were you? He's right
How does it feel to die being a dickhead?
here in his head! In his head! Come on! Put pressure! Put pressure! Hey, keep your eyes open! Keep your eyes open! You shot him?
I didn't hurt him.
Hey, you're okay. You're okay.
Let me talk to him. Dude, there's not enough shit to pressure on this shit.
Yeah, but you gotta keep him alive. Hey, bro, just talk to me, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody call the cops. Guess he shouldn't have been throwing those bricks. All right, that's a lot of opinion. How much more of this we got? It's got a lot of video. It's got a lot of video. I didn't watch all this, so come on, give me the video. Right, so here we saw this part, of course.
Make it tight.
We've already seen all this. I just want to scrub through and see if there's anything new. See, this is after the fact. Okay, yeah, he definitely had a Glock in his hand. I would agree with that. The kid definitely had a gun in his hand. This is the kid that got his arm shot off. He got a good face shot. All right, so the real life predators are coming. Nice way to end. So Mark Scotty reporting on that one. Inconclusive, in my view. Inconclusive. The first part of the video is not solid. It's just not solid. But here's somebody that was on the ground. Right? We don't have video evidence, but we may have an eyewitness. Right? This guy, it seems to be a respected dude from I think I forget where he's from.
Kyle Rittenhouse in connection with a shooting which was in the midst of some
So Crystal Ball, these are two good reporters from The Hill. Let's listen to what they say. They're going to interview a reporter from the Daily Caller or somebody. I don't know, but I forgot where he's from. But he seems believable. So let's listen to him.
protesting. So yesterday, police arrested 17-year-old Illinois resident Kyle Rittenhouse in connection with a shooting which was during those protests for murder. Before the shooting started, Daily Caller reporter Richie McGinnis interviewed him moments before that incident.
What are you doing out here? Obviously you're armed and you're in front of this business we saw burning last night, so what's up?
So people are getting injured, and our job is to protect this business, and part of my job is to also help people. If there's somebody hurt, I'm running into harm's way. That's
So there you go. There it is on his own admission what he was doing there. Is he part of Antifa? No, he's there. He just told you why he's there.
What's up?
So people are getting injured, and our job is to protect this business.
Protect the business and protect injured people. Help give assistance to injured people, whatever side they're on.
Part of my job is to also help people. If there's somebody hurt, I'm running into harm's way. That's why I have my rifle, because I need to protect myself, obviously. But I also have my med kit.
Mere minutes after this, as McGinnis was there covering those protests, multiple gunshots were fired, hitting one man in the head. Viral video shows McGinnis running up to that victim, taking off his shirt, applying that shirt to the victim's head in an effort to slow the bleeding. You can see him there taking his shirt off and trying to tend to that victim. And Daily Caller reporter Richie McGinnis is here to tell us what he saw and exactly what we know happened, what we don't know, and what remains unanswered. So great to have you, Richie. Thank you.
Good to see you, Rich.
Thanks for having me.
So just take us through the night. When did you arrive? What did you see? What led up to this moment?
So actually, just immediately prior to that interview, I was in my hotel room, actually just using the Wi-Fi. We had just witnessed in front of the courthouse riot control cleared all the protesters out of the surrounding area of the courthouse, as well as the park in front of.
So he's this guy. You got to say Richie McGinnis is probably fairly credible. He's a video director for the Daily Caller. He's not a schmuck. He's there. He's press. He's there. He's known, right? If he's the video director for the Caller. So let's listen to what he has to say with some degree of that he's probably right in what he saw. He's not bullshitting.
The courthouse. So actually, the protesters were pushed out into the neighborhoods of Ken0sha, and actually one of those neighborhoods is right by our hotel. And so I actually saw some protesters from the window of my hotel being cleared by the same police that had just moved everybody out from in front of the court.
You're welcome to the conspiracy theories. Mezzo is saying, oh, it's all staged. There's always somebody that'll say everything is fake. Well, you got the evidence right in front of you. You got 2 dead bodies. You got a guy's arm blown off. You got a young kid. What's not believable? Why is everything get your head out your ass, right? Not everything is fake. Things really happen. It's the spin that's fake. Spinning it, something happens, and then they try to spin it to say that it's Trump supporters, it's the radical alt-right shooting at protesters. No, it's clear based on what he said. It's not fake. It wasn't staged. Right, that's what I say.
Courthouse, basically just trying to disperse.
Sometimes it is staged. Sometimes, like in the shootings, remember in what was it, Thousand Oaks in California, where they said that there was one lone shooter and he shot like 12 people. It was impossible. Or Caesar Sayoc sending out bombs and delivering bombs to 12 locations at once. When things are unbelievable, or in Las Vegas, we never saw the 50 bodies that they claim were dead. Those are when the red flag goes up. But where's your red flag to say that this is fake? It's not fake. It's not fabricated. It's not programmed. It's something that happens, and then both sides try to spin it. That's all it is.
The crowd. And after seeing that, I knew that that's an opportunity to go down and basically interview people after that situation. People who were involved in the clearing, interviewing the people that you saw there, including Kyle, who were defending a business. Actually, that business we saw it the previous night. It was actually burning, and people who worked for that business, as well as some of the owners, were using power washer to try to stop.
So that's conclusive, right? This guy who interviewed Kyle on the street believes that he is who he says he is. He's a young man who was there to protect the business that was burned the day before. Is his testimony believable? Yeah, I think so.
Fire, because the fire department wasn't coming. So actually, when I saw those armed guards in front of the business that had been burned the previous night, my first instinct was to ask them why they were there and just see exactly why they were armed and what their plans were. And so that's when I asked somebody for an interview, and Kyle willingly offered himself up, although he wouldn't tell. He did say he didn't want to use his name. So that's the interview that you saw take place right there.
Yeah, and Richie, so moments after that is kind of when we saw this shooting occur. So, and we should say alleged just for legal purposes, tell us what happened exactly. You were standing right by the victim whenever the gunshot was fired. What are the circumstances that led to this happening?
So after that interview concluded, Kyle and one of the other armed men said that they were going to go out to see if any of the protesters who had just been cleared out by riot control needed any medical aid. And as you can hear in that clip, Kyle, med pack.
So they're also, that confirms that they were neutral in who they were trying to help. They were going to help anybody who was wounded. That's what medics are supposed to do. They don't have a side. They're protecting property, but they're also helping people. And in this situation, they became the victims.
And actually, later on in the interview, he told me that he was a EMT. He was a certified EMT. He wasn't a working EMT. He was a lifeguard. And so they said, you want to come with us while we go and see if we can help anybody? I said, sure. So I started walking with them. And the first thing I noticed is that they were very conspicuous weapons, obviously, and people were noticing that. And some people were commenting, some people were shouting some things at them. And actually, I went to interview a group of other individuals for a couple of minutes. And at a certain point, I heard some yelling. And
just stand by, because he was there for the shooting. He doesn't say he knows who shot him, but he was standing right there, and at one point a gun was pointed at him. So just bear with it. This is good stuff.
I turned and saw basically Kyle by himself running, and a number of other individuals running. And that video picks up after a few seconds of a chase, where Kyle basically ran from the street into that parking lot. And the individual pursuing him was the one who got shot. My first instinct as the middle brother of three boys was pursuing him was the one who got shot.
Listen to that again. So it's a little jumbled. It's not very clear on what he's saying, but listen again.
A chase where Kyle basically ran and a number of other individuals running. And that video picks up after a few seconds of a chase where Kyle basically ran from the street into that parking lot. And the individual pursuing him was the one who got shot.
Okay. So the guy who got shot is chasing the guy who did the second shooting for sure, Kyle Rittenhouse. So the guy who got shot in the head is chasing somebody. Why is he chasing somebody? Why is he chasing a guy with a gun?
My first instinct as the middle brother of three boys was to just de-escalate the situation. Because I've been in Portland, Seattle, New York, Washington. Now here in these protest zones, things can digress into chaos very, very quickly. So knowing that, and knowing that Kyle was a young man who had an AR-15, or what looked to be an AR-15, my first instinct was to tell everybody to chill. So you can see actually in one of the other angles that I'm kind of running after them screaming. And Kyle actually, once he gets cornered where that car on the wall is, he basically...
I got to tell you, that's bad reporting. Why are you running into gunfire and trying to break it up? You're just reporting it. When I go to these things, I try very, very hard to shut my mouth and stay at a distance, right? If I need to zoom, I'll zoom in. You don't go in there and try to become part of the protest. Just fucking report what you're seeing. Damn it. This guy almost got his head shot off, right? He would have been, he was next, right? They would have fucking, oh yeah, press, get him.
Turns around and the man
stomp him. Goes
for his gun. Kyle avoids him, and then that's when the shots were fired out.
I'm talking over it, right? Just listen again. Very, very important.
My first instinct was to tell everybody to chill. So you can see actually in one of the other angles that I'm kind of running after them screaming. And Kyle actually, once he gets cornered where that car on the wall is, he basically turns around and the man goes for his gun. Kyle avoids him, and then that's when the shots were fired out. When that happened, Kyle basically...
All right, so what he's saying, he witnessed somebody pull a gun on Kyle Rittenhouse. That's what he said. And then he says shots ring out. He doesn't say Kyle shot him in the head. So there's nothing conclusive. When people start firing at each other, you tend to duck. You tend to flinch your eyes. It's hard to hold that frame when people are shooting at you.
Basically turned around and aimed the gun at the man, but I was directly in the line of fire. So actually, as he raised his weapon, the gun kind of was aimed towards me. So I took 2 steps back at that moment, and I'm not sure which of the shots hit the man and which of the shots missed. But at one point, I felt something.
Okay, so you don't have a solid witness. I don't know which shots hit and which there was shots ringing out. A lot of guys with guns. So there's no video so far. There's no eyewitness. There's no. I don't think the kid testified. Did Kyle Rittenhouse say he shot the kid in the first guy in the head? I don't think so. Did he? I don't know.
Hit my leg, and I thought, people always say it doesn't hurt or whatever. So I stamped my legs, and actually I think what it was a ricochet, some concrete or something like that.
You know what it is? He's not a bad reporter. He's not a reporter. He's a video guy. He's a guy who holds a camera in the heat of war, the heat of battle. That's what he is. He's a video director. I guess I don't know. He's not savvy in front of the camera. He almost got himself shot.
But the moment I realized that outcome, my first instinct, I saw Kyle run away, and I assumed that he had just left the area. So I ran over to render medical aid to the man who just fallen on the ground, who I knew had just been shot. Actually, from another angle that Drew Hernandez, Lives Matter show recorded, you can see that actually the shooter runs back. And I just saw feet next to me as I'm bending over the man, and I just said, "Call 911, what are you doing? Call 911. I saw a phone get pulled out.
So now he's kind of insinuating that it wasn't Kyle who shot the guy. That's the allegation here, that the shooter came over. It's jumbled. But there's nothing conclusive that Kyle Rittenhouse shot the first guy who says, "Shoot me, nigga." There's nothing to prove that he did that so far.
And I didn't realize until hours later that was actually the shooter himself would come back around the car and was standing next to me. And so I didn't even realize that I was screaming at the man who just shot him to call 911. And after, once we flipped him over and I saw the wound on his head, me being a son of a ER doctor, I knew that based on his breathing and the wound, that it was like we had to go to the hospital extremely quickly. And I knew he was basically done for.
Jesus. Richie, I'm so glad that you're okay, and I can't imagine what you're going through just having witnessed that scene. 2 people ended up being killed. So what you're describing, is that the first shooting incident, and then what happens from there based on either your observations or what we've seen from the video?
So I've been trying to piece together based on what I saw with the video, and like I said, there's a lot of new details.
He's going to say something very profound. He's going to tell you that the mob turned on Kyle Rittenhouse. That's what he's going to tell you. That's what he saw. That was his observation. Watch.
You get kind of tunnel vision in those kinds of situations. And so I've kind of figured out a couple of things. Number one, it's clear in the video that Kyle fired, I think, 3 shots. That's what I heard, and that's what I think I saw in the video. It might have been 4, but you also hear some gunshots elsewhere immediately afterwards. So I believe that with respect to Kyle, what happened was he shot, he ran back around the car, and then you can see actually he has a phone to his head as he runs away. And I think, maybe a minute later, as he was running away, people saw him with a gun, and that's when the whole skateboard confrontation took place. And that's when Kyle shot the second man who obviously let the video speak for itself. I wasn't there for that situation. I was actually in the hospital. And in the hospital, immediately after the first man who was shot was taken away, another man came into the ER with basically his entire arm open. And it looked like somebody had just taken a hacksaw to his arm and just opened it up and ripped the bones apart. And I thought there's no way that could be a gunshot. And I heard the officer saying, "We have a gunshot wound, we have a gunshot wound." And they walked him through the ER. And so I assumed that was the one man who survived, actually.
Yeah. Well, Richie, thank you for what you did. All of us can only hope. Yeah.
One more question for you. When you were interviewing Kyle, who was the alleged shooter, did he give you any sense of, since has been reported that he may have had some militia affiliation, what do you know about the other people who were in the area? And there were also some video that came out of an interaction, a sort of friendly interaction between Kyle and the police officers. What was that interaction like on the ground?
I interviewed him for about 2.5 minutes, and my questions were basically limited to why he was there and why he was armed and what exactly his intentions were. And he did say that there was a lack of law and order in the area, and that in the absence of police that he was providing that. He also mentioned that he was a certified EMT and that his primary goal there was to provide medical aid to protesters. So it was very clear that he had an idea in his head that he was there to help, both for protection of the business and of just the people in general there, but also to render medical aid to any of the protesters who were injured. But the real thing that I picked up on after that interview, I thought to myself, this kid he's very innocent. I don't think this kid realizes exactly where he is. And
bingo, right here.
Once I saw him being yelled at after I'd interviewed those other individuals, just prior to him basically running and the whole thing happening, my final thought was, oh my God, like this kid does not realize that all these people are looking at him and screaming at him.
Right. You see that? So there's no conclusive evidence that he shot the first guy, and if he did, was it self-defense? Clearly, he's seen, according to the reports, he's seen being chased by a lunatic who says, "Shoot me, nigga." Right? So now he's saying that Kyle had no idea what he was in for, that the whole mob mentality turned on him as if he were the shooter and chased him, and that's the second part of it where he defends himself.
And these people are ready to go and grab him. And it was at that very moment that the man who was shot kind of ran towards him, and everything unfolded from there.
Yeah, and now he's, accused of killing two and injuring a third.
Right.
Richie, thank you so much. So great to have your perspective.
So there you go. That was pretty good. Thank you, Richie McGinnis, I guess your name is. Richie fucking McGinnis. So, hey, Mark's Conte reporting. I don't know, man. I'm no expert on this kind of shit, man. All I know is, like, shit is getting crazy out there, right? Well, you can't defend yourself anymore, right? You can't, you got to sit there and until you're a bloody pulp, until you're all bleeding, and then you get to say, fucking, get off of me, right? I got to take a punch before I can punch back. I don't like that shit, man. I never liked that about fucking shit in the street like that, right? Because you could get jumped, you could get pummeled, and if you try to defend yourself, you're the bad guy. That's fucked up, man. What is the meaning of the gun? What is the meaning? The right to bear arms, the right to defend yourself, right? What does it mean? It means that you have a gun, and if somebody attacks you, you get to fend them off, right? Lethal force, just like the police use. The police use it. Why can't you? To defend yourself, especially when there's cameras running, especially when it's obvious what's going on. So, I know people are saying a jury. Bill West is saying a jury of his peers will decide this case. Is it possible for Kyle Rittenhouse to get a fair trial? It could be. It could be. He could get a fair trial, but he needs the support. He needs the similar kind of coming to his side as the Mr. Sandman, the same kind of support that Nick Sandman got. Everybody came to Nick Sandman's defense, and that was just defamation. That was just, brutalizing his reputation. Nick Sandman, the Covington High School kid in front of the Lincoln Monument. But here we have actual murder, actual shootings, and trumped up charges. No pun intended, but escalated charges, including reckless endangerment, intentional homicide, which is just first-degree homicide, which is essentially planning a murder. We're going to plan. It's like a hit. That's absolutely not what happened. It's a young man posing as a medic, trying to help out, maybe a little confused, throwing himself into harm's way. He's a little young. He's a little naive. He doesn't know that these people are radicals. Right? He's doing a good thing. He starts out by doing a good thing. Some psychopath attacks him, and somebody or himself shoots the psychopath to stop him, right? He helps the psychopath. He puts the towel around his head to stop the bleeding stop his brains from flowing out onto the street. And then he finally gets away from the crowd because he sees it starting to heat up. And then the crowd chases him as if he's the villain. And he takes the matter he handles the matter rather well, turning the gun on the people trying to stomp him into the ground. So that's really all we got, right? That's all we got, really. So anyway, what do I want to play out? Oh shit! So thank you everybody for sharing. Thank you for joining me, Mark's Conte reporting. We'll continue to follow this story as other things break. What more can we say? Trump is going to be Trump. You got to stand with the Patriots in this one until the evidence shifts, until the evidence goes in a different way. This guy's a hero, right? This guy is showing everybody you are here too. If not me, you next. That's what he's saying. So thank you, everybody. Sterling Price in the house. Nate Dutson, Jim Gerard, Nathan Purvis, Liz Rivard, JB, and thank you, everybody. Bill West is here. Jesley Snipes, Vinny DiMartini on the chat. Hey, listen, man, don't come crying to me when you get timed out. I can't be a dick here. I can't be a dick. I want to be a dick. I want to fucking say what I want to say. God, you're banning my speech.